Om Shri Ganeshaaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यत इति मे निश्चिता मतिः। We are analyzing a Jidnyasu. Who is a Jidnyasu? We had started with the analysis that sorrows are inevitable. As long as this body exists, sorrows will be there. So we decided to find the cause of this body. So by removal of this body, by negating this body, sorrows can be removed. Because when cause is removed, the effect also goes away. For that we understood that this body is because of my karmas. And it's not just karma which I have performed in this life, but many lives earlier. Now I have again two options. Either live with those karmas or try to destroy those karmas. But experiencing those karmas or going through experience of all those karmas and not performing any new karma is not going to be helpful. Why? Because that's my pravrutti. I cannot live without performing a karma unless I am a Jivan Mukta or Jnani or Jnani. That means I have to remove the root cause of those karmas. And what was the root cause of all those karmas? The idea of likes and dislikes, favorableness and unfavorableness. Now, from where the idea of likes and dislikes stem? From where it originated? It originated from the idea of differences. Because only when there is an object or a thing which is different from me, then alone I will have idea of like and dislike. I don't have the idea of likes and dislike. Something being favorable and unfavorable in me myself. Always we have to understand a thing by itself is not uh, sorrowful or full of happiness. Happiness and sorrow are not the qualities of an object. Object just or anything for that matter, may that be a person, may that be a situation, or may that be an object, those act as an instrument by which I experience happiness or I experience sorrow. In absence of happiness, I am experiencing sorrow, that's for sure. And the happiness which I experience is a reflection of my own true self. Meaning, I myself, being the happiness principle, eternal happiness principle, can never be an instrument of happiness or sorrow. So, in me myself, there can never be likes and dislikes. Then we have to understand, and then the analysis concluded with the idea of differences gives rise to likes and dislikes. So the idea of differences should be removed for ultimately removing all my sorrows. And how this idea of differences will be removed? By aparoksha brahmajnana, by knowing the oneness of me and Brahman alone. And for that example was given as snake and rope. How should that knowledge be? That knowledge should be seeing the truth as it is, seeing Brahman as it is, not just knowing, but aparoksha sakshatkar. Only when, just by saying that snake which is appearing on rope is false, knowledge is not going to take place. Only when, in absence of snake, when I actually see rope, that alone can be called as knowledge, jnana. Therefore, स्वस्वरूपापरोक्षज्ञानमेव अखिलानर्थानिदानस्वस्वरूप अज्ञाननिवृत्तिद्वारा निःश्रेयसात्मकनिखिलदुःखनिवृत्तिहेतुर्भवति. What is the cause of removal of all my sorrows along with its root? So, removal of root cause of all my sorrows is removal of ignorance, and that removal of ignorance, that destruction of ignorance can be achieved only by aparoksha brahmajnana, aparoksha brahma sakshatkara. Therefore, aparoksha brahma sakshatkara will lead to gaining of unsurpassed happiness and destruction of all my sorrows. In this way, the one who has analyzed understands that for removal of all my sorrows, maybe temporarily I may have to take up other means such as taking medicines, eating food, etc. But ultimately, I have to inquire into my own true nature, my Swarupa, which is Brahman. Because unless I inquire, my ignorance is not going to go away. Thus, the one who discriminates that I have to do this Viveka is a Jidnyasu. The one who has ascertained by without doing this Viveka, there is no way that I am going to gain a happiness, unsurpassed happiness and destruction of sorrow. After now having explained who is a Jidnyasu, author starts explaining who is a Mukta, Jivan Mukta, liberated person. Now, from where this analysis started, we had seen that question was asked, for whom are you composing this text? The composition of this text is useless, purposeless. Why? Nobody is going to study. There is not a single person who is a well qualified. For which there was explanation that there are 4 types of people in this world. One is Pamara, one is Vishayi, one is Jidnyasu, and one is Mukta. Pamara and Vishayi, they are not interested in knowing Brahman. Jidnyasu is interested in knowing Brahman. Now what about a person who is liberated, who is Mukta? For that, Mukta is now being described. Mukta Lakshanam. स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारणात्मक शरीरत्रय विलक्षणम पंचकोश विलक्षणम च स्वस्वरूपम अखंडाद्वितीय स्वयं ज्योति स्वभावानंदघन ब्रह्म रूपेण यः साक्षादपरोक्षीकरोति करतलामलकवत्स एव मुक्तः इति उच्यते. Who is a mukta? स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारणात्मक शरीरत्रय विलक्षणम. Shariratraya, 3 bodies. 3 bodies, what are those? Sukshma, Thula, gross body, Sukshma, subtle body, Karana, causal body. Different, Vilakshanam, different from these 3. That which is different from 3 bodies, that is Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira, gross body, subtle body, causal body. Panchakosha Vilakshana. different from, beyond five sheets, five coverings. What is that? Swaswarupam, one's true nature, one's own true nature. What is that? Akhanda, akhanda, homogeneous, without any breaks in between. Advitiya, one and one alone. There is no two. Swayam Jyotis Swabhava, self-effulgent, self-experiencing principle. Ananda Ghana, homogeneous mass of happiness. Now that's how they translate in English, but the explanation will be better. Homogeneous mass of happiness, if we are to understand it in this way. If an ant, if an ant enters into a lump of jaggery, now it has bored inside, and if it starts looking around, what will it see? She will see everywhere nothing but jaggery, the sweetness. Wherever it is going to touch, that ant is going to experience sweetness. Similarly, whatever the experience may be, where only happiness alone can be experienced, that is Ananda Ghana. That's why it is said Ghana as homogeneous mass. Homogeneous, there is nothing else in between. But homogeneous mass of what? The happiness. So that is a happiness principle. There is happiness and happiness alone, nothing else. Which are the such Brahma. So Brahman, which is Akhanda, Advitiya, one, none, there are no two, there is no, not more than one. Swayam Jyoti, self-experiencing principle, happiness, unsurpassed eternal happiness principle. Such Brahma Rupena Yaha. In this way, Yaha, the one who Sakshat Aparokshi Karoti, he directly experiences Karatala Amalakavat, like a gooseberry on its own palm, or a fruit kept on one's own palm. Sa eva muktaha iti uchyate. Let's put this whole thing in a continuous sentence. The one who experiences his own true self as that which is different from all three bodies, beyond all five sheets, coverings, that which is akhanda, continuous, without any breaks, advitiya, none, one and one alone, Swayam Jyoti, self-experiencing principle, Ananda Ghana, happiness principle. In this way, Sakshat Aparokshi Karoti, experiences, directly experiences. What is the contrast? Earlier he was experiencing himself as a Jiva, now he is experiencing himself as Brahman. That person, and how is he experiencing? Not because somebody told him, it's his own experience. Like seeing a fruit kept on one's own palm. Do you need somebody else to tell us, unless if that person is blind? Even the blind person will know because of the touch. Because of touch. Seeing that palm, that berry which is kept on one's own hand as one's true nature, as evident it is, as clear it is, in the with same clarity, one who experiences his own true nature, own true self as Brahman, he is a mukta. Now, after having all four categories Jidnyasu will take up study of this text, and for him, I am composing this text is now being explained. Jidnyasoho asmin granthe pravrutyupapattihi. Now, the question or the objection that you had raised that no one will take up study of this text is wrong. Why? Because Jidnyasu surely will take up study of this text. Who is a Jidnyasu? It is said, एवं पूर्वोक्त चतुर्विधेषु पुरुषेषु पामर विषयिणी विषयोपभोगजन्य सुखेन एव आत्मानं तृप्तं कृतार्थं च मन्यमानो वर्तेते. Evam, in this way, Purvokta Chaturvidheshu Purusheshu, in the four categories of people which have been explained earlier, Pamara Vishayini, those two earlier two categories, Pamara and Vishayi. Pamara and Vishayi. Those two, Vishayopabhogajanya Sukhena eva. Happiness which has been experienced by experiencing sense pleasures. Atmanam truptam kritartham cha manyamano vartete. Sorry. Vishayopabhogajanya sukhena eva. By experiencing one's sense pleasures, they consider themselves as satisfied, happy, contented. They don't give much thought about the sorrow which is experienced. They accept that sorrow as part of their life. Then, furthermore, keshanchid vishayinam. Vishayis are slightly better, but still they are confused. Keshanchid vishayinam paralaukika paramasukheच्छायां satyamapi. It's not that, say, Pamara is a Pamara. He does not think about something, there may be a happy, something which can give me, so Pamara thinks there is something which can give him unsurpassed happiness. He will never think in that. Vishayi thinks about it but chooses wrong means. That's what has been explained. Paralaukika paramasukheच्छायां satyamapi. He desires happiness which is not available here in this world, which is somewhere later. Even though he has desire for that paralaukika sukha, unsurpassed happiness, अतत्प्राप्ति साधनम एव तत्प्राप्ति साधनत्वेन अन्यथा गृहीत्वा. अतत्प्राप्ति साधनम, those means which are not going to get him his desired result. Those means which are not going to gain him unsurpassed happiness. He thinks that those are the means of gaining that unsurpassed happiness. In other words, choosing wrong means. Anyatha gruhitva tatraiva te pravartante. And he takes up those means. He thinks unsurpassed happiness can be gained by going to Swargaloka, Ityadika, Yajnayagadika karma, performance of Yajna, etc., or Tapasya, etc., Puja, many other means. But he gains nothing but higher sense pleasures, but not unsurpassed happiness. साधु संग सच्छास्त्र श्रवणादि रूप परमानंद प्राप्ति साधन ज्ञानाभावात् तेषाम. And why does this happen? Now, his intellect, his vision is right. His goal is in appropriate place. He desires right thing. But because in absence of sadhu sanga, satsanga, company of good people, Satshastra Shravana, listening to Shastra, Vedanta, etc. Paramananda Prapti Sadhana Jnana Bhavat Tesham. They, because in absence of satsanga and satshastra shravana, company of good people and listening to Vedanta, etc., Paramananda Prapti Sadhana, means of gaining that unsurpassed happiness. The knowledge of those means jnana, sadhana jnana. So, knowledge of the means by which that unsurpassed happiness can be gained is not there. Their goal is right, but they don't know what the right means are. Why? Because they don't have satsanga and satshastra shravana. ततः च पामरविषयिणोः परमानन्दावाप्त्यर्थं नास्मिन् ग्रन्थे न अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे प्रवृत्तिर्जायेत. Tatashcha, therefore, and thus, for all these reasons, those which are Pamara and Vishayi, of those two, Paramananda Vaptyartham, for gaining unsurpassed happiness, Asmin Granthe Pravrutti na Jayeta. They will not have pravrutti, they will not have desire to take up the study of this text. Accepted. दुःखहत्यै च न तेषाम् अत्र ग्रन्थे प्रवृत्तिः उपायान्तरे प्रवृत्तत्वात्. दुःखहन्त्यै च न तेषाम् अत्र ग्रन्थे प्रवृत्तिः. For removal of sorrow also they will not take up the study of this text. Why? Upayantare pravrittatvat. They are engrossed in other means for removing sorrows. Tasmat, therefore, niratishaya sukhavaptaye आत्यंतिक दुःखहानाय च पामर विषयिणोः अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे न संभवति प्रवृत्तिः. निरतिशय सुखावाप्तये, gain for gaining of unsurpassed happiness, आत्यंतिक दुःखहानाय for complete cessation of sorrows, पामर विषयिणोः अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे प्रवृत्तिः न संभवति. Pamara and Vishayi will not take up study of this text. What about Mukta? Muktasyapi नास्त्यधिकारोऽस्मिन् ग्रन्थे. अस्मिन् ग्रन्थे मुक्तस्यापि अधिकारः नास्ति. Liberated person is not eligible for study of this text. Why? ज्ञानी ही कृतकृत्यो मुक्त इत्युच्यते. The one who has gained Brahma Jnana, Brahma Sakshatkara, he is considered as Kritakritya Mukta iti. Thus, Krita Kritya, Kritam Krityam, sorry, or Krityam Kritam. Whatever that is to be done has already been done. There is nothing else that is to be achieved by performing any karma. In this way, the one who has understanding is Kritakritya, for which in Tippani, author has explained how the progression takes place. He says, Ajnana dashayam ahika bhogadi siddhyartham krushyadi vyavasayah. For gaining happiness here in this world, he did different activities such as farming, etc. Now, all the activities that we perform for earning money and living a good life are can be categorized in this category. आमुष्मिक भोगार्थम काम्य कर्मोपासनादयः. आमुष्मिक भोगार्थम, he is considering Swargadika Loka also. He says, I don't want happiness only in this world, but also the happiness which is available in the worlds hereafter, for which he performs Kamya Karma, any activity with desire. May that be Upasana, etc. In Vaidika parlance, that may be Yajna, specific Yajna. चित्तशुद्ध्यै चित्तशुद्धि ऐकाग्र्यार्थम निष्काम कर्मोपासनादयः. But he understands somewhere I need to have purity of my mind. So he has started performing nishkama karma, upasana, etc. वेदांत श्रवणाय विवेक वैराग्यादि चतुर्विध साधनम. If Vedanta Shravana is to be done, an adhikara is required. What is that? Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Shatka, Sampatti, Mumukshata. All those four qualities needs to be earned, should be inculcated. He inculcates those. For that he has to do something. Advitiyatma sakshatkara gurupadeshaha. And for gaining that aparoksha brahma jnana, aparoksha brahma sakshatkara, gurupadeshaha, listening to Mahavakya from a competent guru is required. Samshayadi nivrutyartham shravanadayah. For removal of all doubts, what he has to do? Shravana manana nididhyasana. मोक्षार्थम दृढ़तराद्वितीय चिन्मात्रा परोक्ष साक्षात्कारश्च इति एवमादि पुष्कल साधनानुष्ठानम तत्संपादनञ्च कर्तव्यम इति उच्यते. And now to make that knowledge firm, he has to perform nididhyasana and etc. Now all these things are ought to be done. They are needed to be done. There is no escaping from all these. So these are called as kartavya, things which are to be performed. एतद् अनुष्ठान संपादन रूपम कर्तव्यम येन कृतम स एव कृत कर्तव्यः. The one who has gone through all these and has reached aparoksha brahma sakshatkara, where now nothing that is to be performed remains, is a kritakritya person. Why he is a kritakritya? Because he does not see anything different from him which can be gained or achieved. Naivasti tasya kartavyantaram dridhatarat. Now see here. Naivasti tasya kartavyantaram dridhatarat dvitiyatma paroksha jnanavatvat. Naivasti tasya kartavyantaram. He does not have anything that is to be done otherwise. Why? Dridhatara, firm. Advitiyatma paroksha jnanavatvat. He is jnanavatvat, jnanavan. He has aparoksha brahma jnana. And because he has aparoksha brahma jnana, he does not see something else that is to be done. लीलयात्र कालयापनार्थम प्रवृत्तोपि नास्त्यस्य ग्रंथतः प्रयोजनम. Leelaya, just in sport, just because he thought so, he may study this text, but asya granthatah prayojam nam nasti. Even though he may take up study of this text in sport, but it's not going to do him any more good. It's just he wished to be so, so he did that. It's not because he had to do it. So it's not a kartavya. In reality, there is no prayojanam, there is no purpose for him to study this text. It's just in sport, he just thought so, maje mein. Just like that. Tasmat na muktodeshenapyayam grantha pravruttah. Therefore, for the sake of these liberated people also, ayam grantha na pravruttah. This text is not being composed. Kintu mumukshurupa jidyasumuddeshya pravruttayam grantha. So this text is not being composed for pamara, vishay or mukta, but मुमुक्षुरूप जिज्ञासुमुद्दिश्य, for those who are desirous of liberation, and for liberation those who are desirous of knowledge, for sake of those people this text is being composed. Now justification is being given. न तस्यास्ति विषय सुखेच्छा, he does not desire sense pleasures. निरतिशय भूमानंद लिप्सया तस्य संसार दुःख जिहासावत्वात्, by lipsaya, by desire of nirtishaya bhumananda, gaining of unsurpassed happiness which stems from Brahman, which is Brahmanaha Swarupam, the nature of Brahman. Samsara dukkha jihasa vatvat. Jihasa, tyaga, desire of destroying. Hatum ichha jihasa, desire of destruction, removing, removal of what? Samsara dukkha. How samsara dukkha is going to be removed? By gaining unsurpassed happiness, which is nothing but Brahman. Nirtishaya paramananda praptihi atyantika dukkha nivrittischa अपरोक्षात्म ज्ञानम विना कर्मयोग सांख्य योगोपासनादिभिः न सिद्ध्यति इति विवेकः यस्य सत्संगात् जायते तस्य जिज्ञासोः अद्वैत वेदांत ग्रंथे प्रवृत्तिर्जायेतैव. Now this is the reiteration of earlier analysis. He says the gaining of unsurpassed happiness, niratishaya paramananda praptihi, removal of all sorrows, atyantika dukkha nivrittihi, will not take place without aparokshatma jnanam, aparoksha brahma jnana, and karma yoga, sankhya yogopasanadibhihi, performance of karma yoga, sankhya yoga, upasana, etc. Why all these? For removal of all the doubts which may be there in my mind. Such viveka, such discrimination arises in whose mind on account of iti vivekaha yasya satsanga jayate, on account of satsanga, tasya, of that person, jidnyasoho, of that who is a jidnyasu, advaita vedanta granthe pravrittihi jayetaiva, he will take up the study of the text which explains the non-dual nature of his own true self or oneness of Jiva and Brahman. Thus, Jidnyasu will take up study of this text, and for him I am composing this text. After having explained this whole thing, still the questions have not finished. Anubandha Chatushtaya we are analyzing. We analyzed Adhikari. Now even though we jumped back and forth, Adhikari has been ascertained. Who is an Adhikari? The one who is a Jidnyasu and has enough Viveka, Vairagya, etc. Now this Adhikari is for taking up study of this text, not for Aparoksha Brahma Jnana. Aparoksha Brahma Jnana, you need to have that Viveka, Vairagya up to its fullest. That's a different story. But to take up the study of this text, he needs to be a Jidnyasu, not Pamara, not Vishayi, not Mukta. Now, Adhikari, the questions about Adhikaris have ended. Now, the next part is, I have doubts about the topic in this text. Vishaye akshepaha. Jiva brahmanoho ऐक्य रूप विषये आक्षेपः. जीव ब्रह्मणोः ऐक्य रूप विषये आक्षेपः. I have doubts about the oneness which you have explained in this text, or about the oneness of Jiva and Brahman. यत्तूक्तं जीवब्रह्मणोरैक्यमेवास्य ग्रन्थस्य विषयः इति तन्नोपपद्यते तयोः स्वभावभेदात्. That which you have explained in this text. What has been explained in this text? The oneness of Jiva and Brahman. Tannopapadyate, that is not possible at all. Why? Tayoho swabhava bhedat. Swabhava bhedat, there is a difference between their true nature. तथा ही ब्रह्म तु अविद्यास्मिता रागद्वेषोभिनिवेशात्मक पंचक्लेश शून्यम व्यापकमेकं सजातीय भेदरहितं च ब्रह्मणः सजातीय ब्रह्मांतराभावात्. Brahman is, why do you say there is difference there? They are totally different things. Jiva is totally different, Brahman is totally different. It is now being explained. Brahman is avidya smita raga dveshobhiniveshatmaka panchaklesha shunyam. There aren't these five panchakleshas, five defects. Vyapakam, it is all pervading. Ekam, one and one alone, one without the second. Sajatiya bhedarahitancha, it does not have intrinsic differences. Sajatiya brahmantara bhavat, or not intrinsic differences, that will be swagata bheda, but differences based on the same species. So species variation is not there. Why? There is no other Brahman which is like the earlier one. What is this? Let's understand. Brahman is Shunyam, without all these five defects. What are those? Avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Author in its Tippani has given, let's go through not in detail but superficially, because it's just the explanation, continuous explanation. In detail these topics will be taken up later. But what is avidya? Avidya is that which goes away when it is inquired into. Very beautiful definition of avidya. In other place, sahatena vicharam sa tamo yadvad divakaram. Sureshwaracharya ji, he defines it as Seyam Bhrantir Niralamba Sarvanyaya Virodhini Sahatena Vicharam Sa Tamo Yadvad Divakaram. What exactly this ignorance is? Ignorance is that Sa Iyam Bhranti, that delusion which does not have any basis, Niralamba, Alambana Rahita, which cannot stand by itself, which cannot have its own existence, which does not have its own existence. Sarva Nyaya Virodhini, it goes against all logic. Whichever way you may try to define that ignorance, it will act exactly the opposite way. It will have its contrary facets. Sarva Nyaya Virodhini. But the problem with that Bhranti, that delusion is Sahatena Vicharam Sa. It cannot suffer, or it cannot experience, it cannot stand Vichara, inquiry. Just as the darkness cannot stand the sun rays, the sun. Darkness goes away the moment sunlight reaches that darkness. Similarly, once you start inquiring, that delusion will go away. Mirage water, even though it is appearing, You may try to define or you may try to classify, categorize in many different ways. It is not going to stand. It is not going to help you. But once you start inquiring, is it really there? Where is it? From where it is coming? It goes away. The reality given to that water goes away. That is avidya. That avidya is of two types. One is mula vidya, tula vidya. Some accept these categories. Some people in like in Vedantic schools, some people accept these categories. Some people do not accept these categories. It doesn't matter. It's for the sake of explanation alone. Let's keep it that way. Mula vidya is the root cause of ignorance, or the mula, ignorance about the Brahman itself. And Tula vidya is the ignorance about the conditioned Brahma. This Mula vidya, the root cause, has two facets. One is causal cause, like causal ignorance, and effect causal ignorance. This is how the funny it sounds when we try to translate it in English. Mula vidya is the original, if you want to say Mula original, or the ignorance about the Brahman. One covers that Brahman, and one is Vikshepa. One shows that Brahman in some different way. Like, not seeing rope is one part, and seeing rope as snake is the other part. In the same way, not seeing Brahman is one, and seeing Brahman, seeing world instead of Brahman is the other. After this avidya is asmita. What is asmita? Asmita is samanya ahankara, considering my intellect to be me myself. Considering my intellect, my buddhi, as me. Considering this ahankara to be me myself is asmita. Raga is nothing but on account of all past impressions, all past experiences. Based on those experiences, having the idea of likes is raga, and having the idea of dislike is dvesha. So raga, dvesha understood. What is abhinivesha? Abhinivesha is desire to protect this body for the fear of dying. Desire to protect oneself because I have fear of dying, fear of death. That is called as abhinivesha, desire to protect from death. All these are not there in Brahman. Then how it is? Vyapakam, it is all pervasive. Ekam, one and one alone, none other than two. Sajatiya bheda rahitancha. What is Sajatiya bheda? Very simple. There are Klesha is the name for all these five. Klesha is the defect. So avidya is one klesha, asmita is other klesha, all those. Klesha is actually the sufferings. But here it should be taken as defects. Why? Because we are referring to as Brahman. बहुत क्लेश हो रहे थे, we say in Hindi. But here take them as defects. Vyapakam, all pervasive, ekam, one without the second. Sajatiya bheda rahitancha. What is Sajatiya? There are three types of differences. One is Sajatiya, one is Vijatiya, and one is Swagata. Consider a tree. If you can see a tree, within tree there are differences. Within one tree itself there are differences. It has branches, it has flowers, it has fruits, it has leaves, etc. So having differences in one's own self is our Swagata Bheda, intrinsic differences. Now there are differences between same species. There is one tree which is a mango tree, and there is another mango tree. So between those two mango trees, even though their species is same, actually to be precise, consider tree as one species alone, one category alone. Two trees may have similarity based on having leaves, fruits, flowers, etc. But still they two are different. That is Sajatiya Bheda. There is one tree and there is another one which is also a tree, but it is different from the first one. And then there is Vijatiya. One is tree and other is stone, an animal, etc. A totally different species. All these three types of differences are not there in Brahman. When it is said it is one and none other, one without the second, this is what it is. There is no other Brahman which is like the first one. Now, this is what Brahman is. Now, what is a Jiva? Who is a Jiva? How is it different from Brahman? That will be explained. And based on their apparent differences, the objection about their oneness will be raised. But the answer to that objection and the objection by itself we will see next time. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Om Sha Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om